We are observers, not passive of reality. We are active participants in its unfolding. David Bohm. Each of us has felt it at least once. That strange, almost forgotten sensation, as if you're not just a person on this planet, but a link in something vast, intelligent, alive. Everything is connected. Everything vibrates. Everything is conscious. What if there is a map where everything you will one day feel, discover, and become is already marked? A map whose lines are not mere symbols, but currents of force, awareness, and light. A map that contains the universe and you. This map is the tree of Sefirot. 10 spheres, 10 states of being, 10 gates, and you stand before the first. Are you ready? But before you enter, let us look at the tree not only as mysticism, but as structure, because everything sacred is also stunningly precise, and the tree of Sefirot is no exception. Let us first see it through the eyes of science. At first glance, it's just an ancient symbol. But look closer. Within these lines lies the structure of the universe. Within these circles, the laws of matter, consciousness, and life. The tree of Sefirot resembles a neural network, as if you're seeing the brain projected onto the cosmos. Its Sefirot are like electrical nodes, the branches, channels of transmission, impulses, signals. Within this tree, you can glimpse the anatomy of the human body, the design of a single cell, and the journey from I to we. This is not coincidence. This is fractality. The same pattern, under a microscope, through a telescope, and in the depths of your heart. Even if you've never heard of Kabbalah, you've already lived by this tree. You received an impulse. You let it move through you. You shaped a thought. You turned it into action. Now imagine, on the level of consciousness, you can trace this entire path. The spark of desire, arising in Chokmah. Its form, shaped in Binah. Its embodiment, in Malkuth. And all of it, within you. Modern science is beginning to catch up with this map. Quantum physics tells us observation affects outcome. As long as no one is looking, a particle behaves like a wave. Endless possibilities. But once the gaze appears, everything collapses into a single reality. This is called the collapse of the wave function. In other words, you don't just observe the world, you create it. How? Where? Through what? Through the very path that has been traced in the tree of Sefirot for millennia. This is not theory. This is a process, one you are part of right now. You hear a voice, you receive the impulse, you think, and create a wave configuration. You choose, and reality collapses into one of its options. Sounds like metaphor? But this is no longer mysticism. It's experiment. Researchers observe how consciousness affects electrons, how the brain, the heart, and the energy field around the body synchronize in moments of decision. And here's the most astonishing part. Each of us does this constantly, but unconsciously. But what if you become a conscious observer? Then you're not just living. You are shaping the fabric of reality with your attention. And everything that once seemed random begins to reveal its pattern. Like a tree emerging from mist, science explains the structure, but the soul longs for meaning. And where the formulas end, the experience begins. Subtle, inner, unmistakable. Now, let us look at the tree from within. Eastern sages once said, "Truth is not outside, it is within." And Western mystics echoed the same, "Know thyself, and you will know all things." The tree of Sefirot is a map for such a journey. It does not point upward, It leads inward, deeper than logic, deeper than emotion, deeper even than pain. Each Sefirot is a state of consciousness, a frequency you can tune into. Chokhmah, the first flash of intuitive knowing. Bina, the mother force that gives it form. Tiferet, the opening of the heart, clarity, compassion. Malkuth, the descent of spirit into matter. Mystical traditions tell us, you are already walking this path. You just don't always know where you are on it. In moments of crisis, in moments of revelation, in prayer, in meditation, you are moving along the tree, sometimes ascending, sometimes descending, but always transforming. The tree does not offer answers, it offers experience. Revelation doesn't come in words, it arrives as silence, as vibration, as the knowing that you have touched something true, and on this path, you are not alone. Mystics have walked it, Sufis, Gnostics, Christian contemplatives, each in their own way. But all said one thing: the true path is always inward, toward the self, toward the point of stillness, toward the one who observes. Sometimes you don't know where you are. You may be halfway through and feel completely lost, or standing right at the gate and still afraid to enter. And the tree remains silent. It doesn't judge, it doesn't rush, it simply waits for you to remember. You are not broken, you are not lost, you are becoming. The spiritual path is not a climb to a pedestal, it is a return to home, to that quiet voice inside that always knew where to go. And if you feel the call, then you've already begun. The tree recognizes its own, and it opens to those who are ready. But what if you're not just walking the path? What if you can interact with it through sound, through image, through intention? What if the gates don't open on their own, but respond to your call? Then the tree becomes more than a guide. It becomes a tool, a force, a magic. Magic is not tricks and spells. It is the art of attunement, the ability to influence the outer world by transforming the frequency of your inner world. In ancient traditions, the tree of Sefirot was not seen as a diagram, but as a living body. Each Sefirah a guardian of a specific force, each with its own color, archangel, scent, sound, symbol. Chesed, radiant mercy, given without condition. Gevurah, sacred boundaries that protect the essence. Tiferet, the luminous center, where all things come into balance. The mystic didn't use the tree to control the world. They used it to shift their own vibration from within. They attuned to a force, and that force began to manifest. Through situations, through inspiration, through dreams. This is the essence of real magic. Synchronicity, words, gestures, meditations, colors, mantras. Each creates resonance. You don't have to control reality. You only need to come into harmony with it. You enter Gevurah and gain inner structure. You enter Netzach and begin to act without doubt. Magic is not mysticism. It is a technology of alignment with subtle laws. And most importantly, you do not open the gates. You become the vibration that the gates recognize. You are the key. You are the incantation. You are the spark and the flame. Just remember the sound of your own frequency, and the tree will respond. Just remember how your soul sounds. Mystics said, the Sefirot are not steps. They are spaces. Spaces you enter through states of being. There are days when you feel as if you're inside Netzach, fluid, inspired, full of momentum. And there are nights when you dissolve into Hod, reflection, memory, echoes of the past. But none of this is outside you. It is within. You are the tree. And magic is not about calling something forth, but realizing you're already inside one of its states, and you can move between them with intention, with breath, with a word, with attention. But magic is not always about doing. Sometimes it is a quiet knowing that all the power you seek is already woven into the fabric of reality. And then a deeper question arises. How do you live with this knowledge? This is where philosophy begins. What if the meaning of life is not to reach a goal, but to move between opposites? The tree of Sefirot shows us that reality is not divided into good or bad. It teaches everything is tension between forces, between chesed and gevura, between generosity and restraint, between chokmah and binah, between revelation and structure, between what calls you forward and what holds you still. And in this dance between the poles, Tiferet is born, the center, the heart, beauty. The philosophy of the tree is not religion. It is not morality. It is wisdom, how to be fully alive in a world of contradictions. You may destroy, and it may be right. You may protect, and that may be right too. The question is not what you do, but why. Every choice is more than an action. It is a response to the deep rhythm you carry. And if you can hear that rhythm, you can become yourself. Not a shadow of someone's expectations, not a bundle of habits, but you, true, present, alive. The tree is a mirror. Look into it, and you will see who you are. And maybe for the first time, you'll accept it, without fear, without shame, only with understanding. To live is to hold the light, even in the dark. The tree teaches not to reject anything. You are both light and shadow, both order and chaos. To flee into one pole is to lose your wholeness. True balance is not apathy, it is presence. When you don't run, don't pretend, don't try to please, but simply stand in your own center, like Tiferet, the heart of the tree. And then even pain becomes a teacher, even doubt, a doorway. Because everything on this path is part of the learning, and you are not wrong for seeking. The seeker is already awake, and if you've come this far, then some part of you has already heard the call. Now all that remains is to take the first step, forward, toward the gates. Take a breath. Feel it. You are not just a viewer, you are a participant. This is not just a video. It is an invitation. You can close it and go back to everything as it was, or you can open the first gate and let it lead you to where you've longed to go, inward, into the light, into the essence. Welcome. In this playlist, there are 10 gates, 10 spaces you have already passed through, perhaps in a dream, perhaps in childhood, perhaps in a moment of loss or wonder. Each of us walks a different path, but the map is the same. I will guide you through each of the Sefirot. We will not simply study, we will enter, listen, see, attune. This will not be an explanation, it will be an experience. Are you ready? Then take a breath and open the first gate. This is only the beginning. Ahead lie 10 gates, 10 spaces, 10 steps inward. Each video in this playlist is a new state, waiting for you to enter. Follow the rest of the series in this playlist. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and let the tree unfold within you.